Imagine this. You're standing on the deck of a ship, the vast, open ocean stretching out in every direction. There's no roar of an engine, no ping from a GPS. The very vessel beneath your feet isn't held together by a single metal nail. All you have is the wind in the sails, the strength of rope and wood, and the accumulated knowledge of generations. It sounds like a survival challenge, right? But for thousands of years, this was simply how sailors connected entire civilizations. This is the story of a forgotten highway. One that predates our modern world by centuries. I'm talking about the Indian Ocean, for ancient mariners. This wasn't an obstacle. It was a superhighway. Merchants, explorers, and pilgrims traveled incredible distances, not with brute force, but with a deep understanding of nature. They harnessed the power of the seasonal monsoon winds, navigated by the stars, and relied on experience passed down from master to apprentice. The ships they sailed were masterpieces of craftsmanship, born not in factories from complex blueprints, but from skills refined over centuries. Think about how we build things today with precision machinery and industrial materials. Now, erase that image instead of metal nails. These ship builders used a technique that was both ingenious and perfectly suited to their environment. They literally stitched the wooden planks of the hull together. The thread, coir rope, a remarkably strong and durable material made from coconut fiber. This stitching method wasn't a primitive shortcut. It was a brilliant adaptation. A stitched hull was flexible. When a ship inevitably scraped against a hidden reef or ran aground on a sandy shore, the flexible seams would give way slightly, absorbing the shock without splintering. Rigid nailed hull might have cracked and taken on water, but these stitched ships could bend and flex, making them incredibly resilient. To make them watertight, the builders sealed the gaps and seams with natural resins, like damar, which created a waterproof barrier that was also pliable. Powering these journeys was another feat of natural engineering. Instead of an engine, they used massive square sails to catch the powerful monsoon winds. These winds were so predictable that they created a reliable, twice-a-year transport system. For half the year, the winds blew from the southwest, pushing ships from Africa and Arabia towards India and Southeast Asia. For the other half, the winds reversed, blowing from the northeast, providing a perfect return journey. Sailors didn't fight the ocean. They danced with it, timing their voyages to a rhythm set by the planet itself. Now, here's the most incredible part. How do we know all this? How do you rebuild a ship like this when not a single complete vessel survives from that era? There are no ancient blueprints stored in a museum. The knowledge was practical, passed from person to person, not written down in technical manuals. So, when a team of historians and shipbuilders decided to recreate one of these ancient vessels, they had to become detectives. They scoured ancient texts, travelers' accounts from people like Marco Polo, and even looked at art. They found clues in the intricate carvings on temple walls in Indonesia, in cave paintings in India, and in the designs on pottery that had traveled across these very sea lanes. Every piece of evidence, no matter how small, was a breadcrumb leading them back in time. They studied the way traditional boat builders in places like Oman and the Maldives still work today, using techniques that have been passed down for countless generations. These living traditions became a vital link to the past, a way to understand the hands-on skills that brought these ships to life. Rebuilding the ship was a monumental task. Every single plank had to be hand-carved and shaped to fit perfectly. Then came the stitching. Can you imagine the labor involved? Teams of craftspeople drilled thousands of holes along the edges of the planks and then painstakingly threaded and tightened the coil ropes, pulling the whole together one stitch at a time. It's a process that requires immense patience and skill. The result is more than just a boat. It's a floating piece of history, a tangible connection to a lost world. The details are astonishing. The motifs on the sails, the figures carved into the prow, these aren't just decorations. They are cultural symbols, reflecting a time when ships carried not just spices, textiles, and timber, but also ideas, languages, religions, and stories. Each voyage was an act of cultural exchange. A sailor from the Swahili coast might share a story with a merchant from Gujarat, who in turn might trade a recipe with a potter from the Malacca Strait. The ocean connected them all. Watching this reconstructed ship finally set sail is a powerful experience. It's a journey that isn't just about recreating the past. It's a profound reminder that globalization is not a modern invention. The desire to explore, to connect, and to trade is a fundamental part of the human story. Long before the internet, long before container ships, and long before the nations we know today even existed, humanity was already weaving a global network. These stitched ship challenges are modern assumptions about technology. We often think of progress as a straight line, with our current technology at the pinnacle. But this vessel shows us that true innovation is about finding the most elegant solution for a specific context. The technology of this ship, the stitched hull, the coil rope. The reliance on wind and stars was perfectly optimized for the world it inhabited. It was sustainable, repairable, and incredibly effective. This journey across the Indian Ocean is a tribute to human ingenuity, curiosity, and the timeless power of cooperation. It proves that for millennia, the sea wasn't what divided us. It's what brought us together. The world has always been connected, and the echoes of these ancient voyages can still be felt today. Thanks for watching, and if you found this journey into the past as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that connect us to our incredible human history.